is a stock that slipped in the last few minutes. So I think we should pull up the intraday chart on that one. And ITC is the other one. You know, that one, in fact, has now moved to the low point of the day, a larger weight on the index. When that slips, it puts some pressure on the Nifty as well. But as promised, it's time for D-Street Chatter. Nimesh joins me to tell us what's going on out there. Well, Nimesh, a bit of a down day, but I think par for the course yet again after the kind of run that we had. And it's that year-end phenomena as well that could be playing out.
Absolutely, Nigel. You know, so for second day running, a bit of under pressure. But I guess, you know, it's more to do with the expiry and not much from a sell perspective. So even today, the sense is there is good buying interest from the larger FIs. In fact, there is a small MOC as well. What happened yesterday? I think for the second day running, there is an MOC basket buying at a leading FI. So it looks like even today the FI number could be slightly positive. But again, you know, that also has to be read in the context of the expiry as well. So, you know, in the expiry week, the last 2-3 days of flows seems to be a bit colored as well because of the F&O expiry.
Yes.
So, you know, people tend to cover their F&O positions and sell and buy cash and sell future, you know, those kind of stuff. So don't read too much, but at least there is not big selling is what I understand from an FI perspective. I guess a sector which clearly stands out and where there is buying interest is the financials. So a bit of rotation happening with the financials as well. Private banks are well bid, and within that, the smaller private banks are now seeing a bit of uptake after a big rally what we saw in the large private banks. So a bit of churn there. I guess, you know, after the expiry, I guess April will be news heavy in the first 10 days because of the reciprocal tariff on second, and then we have the RBI policy as well in the first 10 days of April. So going to be quite noisy in the first 10 days of April series. But again, technically 23.900 is a level to watch on the upside. That's a bit of a supply zone or a resistance zone, so to speak. But clearly, I guess from a flow perspective, at least there is not large selling. In fact, there is buying for the last couple of days as far as FIs are concerned. All
right, so the FIs, no worries on that front. I'm just wondering whether some feedback is suggesting that the big domestic buyer seems to be churning its portfolio towards the end as well, which normally we do see towards the end of a fiscal. What about individual stocks? What are you picking up?
Well, so in terms of individual names, Nigel, there are a lot of stocks which are buzzing in trade. So the first stock on my list is TFCI. After a long time, some buying seems to have emerged in that stock as well. Buzzing in trade, the volumes are on the higher side, and the city is anticipating a corporate development very soon. In fact, the sense I'm picking is that maybe there could be some fundraising in TFCI very soon. So that's the first stock. The second stock is Sharda Energy. In the last 1 month, that stock has been in a very narrow range, been consolidating, a bit of under pressure as well. Largely, I understand there is a bit of selling happening, and one of the domestic fund seems to be trimming the holdings in Sharda Energy. So that's the second stock. The third stock is EPAC Durables. We had the management on the channel today. The commentary was quite strong. But for the last couple of days, the stock has been under pressure, largely because I understand there is a selling pressure going on from a leading private equity. Looks like that selling is likely to happen, get cleaned out very soon. So that's the buzz on EPAC Durables. And the last is Shriram Finance. For the last few days, there has been selling in Shriram Finance. A leading global fund was an active seller. Seems like that selling is largely over. There is a first signs of buying interest now back in Shriram Finance at these levels.
Okay, all right, Nimesh, thanks a lot for that. Well, the markets have managed to at least defend the 23,500 odd mark just for now. We've seen a bit of a recovery from the day's low. And just pull up a few stocks. Elecon Engineering, pull up the intraday chart out there. The stock is up close to around 5%. Majority of that move has come in the last few minutes. So I think we should get the intraday chart out there. Indian Shelter, that's the other one that we were talking about with Sanjay Parekh just a short while back. He was sounding quite optimistic on one of those names. So that one as well comes up for you in the screen. So pockets of strength from the broader markets is what we can see. Mitesh Thakkar is back with us. Mitesh, what are you doing? Continuing to hold on to those long positions and buying the dips. The trend is still intact, upward?